Good day everyone, my name is Roxanne Maylim from BSc 2B Mathematics. So for this video, I'm going to explain lesson plan and the things or the steps that usually used in grade 7 and grade 8 lesson plan. So let's start. A lesson plan is a document that outlines the content of your lesson step by step. It's a list of tasks that your students will undertake to help guide your teaching. A lesson plan is usually prepared in advance and can either cover a one-off activity, an entire lesson, a unit or course, a day, or a week. So, a successful lesson plan addresses and integrates three key components. The first one is the learning objectives, second, the learning activities, and third, assessment to check for student understanding. So we have here before class, during class, and after class. So let's start in before class. Before class, steps for preparing a lesson plan. Number 1, identify the learning objectives. Before you plan your lesson, you will first need to identify the learning objectives for the lesson. Number 2, plan the specific learning activities. When planning learning activities, you should consider the type of activities the student will need to engage in order to develop the skills and knowledge required to demonstrate effective learning in the course. So, in number 3, plan to assess student understanding. Assessments such as tests, papers, problem sets, performances provide opportunities for students to demonstrate and practice the knowledge and skills articulated in the learning objectives, and for instructors to offer targeted feedback that can guide further learning. Number 4, plan to sequence the lessons in an engaging and meaningful manner. So, the following are the things that you can use in planning to sequence the lesson in an engaging and meaningful manner. First one, gain attention. Obtain students' attention so that they will watch and listen while the instructor presents the learning content. Next, present a story or a problem to be solved. Number 3, utilize icebreaker activities, current news and events, case studies, YouTube videos, and so on. The objective is to quickly grab student attention and interest in the topic. Next, utilize technologies such as clickers and surveys to ask leading questions prior to lecture, survey opinion, or gain a response to a controversial question. Next, inform learner of objectives. Allow students to organize their thoughts regarding what they are about to see, hear, and or do. Include learning objectives in lecture slides, the syllabus, and in instructions for activities, projects, and papers. Next is describe required performance. Describe criteria for standard performance. Stimulate recall of prior knowledge. Help students make sense of new information by relating it to something they already know or something they have already experienced. Recall events from previous lecture, integrate results of activities into the current topic, or relate previous information to the current topic. Ask students about their understanding of previous concepts. Present new content. Utilize a variety of methods including lecture, readings, activities, projects, multimedia, and others. Sequence and chunk the information to avoid cognitive overload. Blend the information to aid in information recall. Bloom's revised taxonomy can be used to help sequence the lesson by helping you chunk them into levels of difficulty. And here are some more. Provide guidance. Advise students of strategies to aid them in learning content and of resources available. With learning guidance, the rate of learning increases because students are less likely to lose time or become frustrated by basing performance on incorrect facts or poorly understood concepts. Provide instructional support as needed, as scaffolds, cues, hints, or prompts, which can be removed after the student learns the task or content. Model varied learning strategies: mnemonics, concept mapping, role-playing, visualizing. And also, use examples and non-examples. To find out more about scaffolding student learning, practice. Allow students to apply knowledge and skills learned. Next is allow students to apply knowledge in group or individual activities. And last, ask deep learning questions. Make reference to what students already know or have students collaborate with their peers. And also, here are some more. Ask students to recite, revisit, or reiterate information they have learned. Facilitate student elaborations. Ask students to elaborate or explain details and provide more complexity to their responses. Next is provide feedback. Provide immediate feedback of students' performance to assess and facilitate learning. Consider using group or class-level feedback, such as highlighting common errors, give examples or models of target performances, show students what you do not want. Consider implementing peer feedback. Require students to specify how they use feedback in subsequent works. Assess performance. To evaluate the effectiveness of the instructional events, test to see if the expected learning outcomes have been achieved. Performance should be based on previously stated objectives. Utilize a variety of assessment methods, including exams or quizzes, written assignments, projects, and so on. Enhance retention and transfer. Allow students to apply information to personal contexts. This increases retention by personalizing information. Next, provide opportunities for students to relate coursework to their personal experiences. Provide additional practice. So, for the number 5, create a realistic timeline. A list of 10 learning objectives is not realistic. So, narrow down your list to the 2 or 3 key concepts, ideas, or skills you want students to learn in the lesson. Your list of prioritized learning objectives will help you make decisions on the spot and adjust your lesson plan as needed. Number 6, plan for a lesson closure. Lesson closure provides an opportunity to solidify student learning. Lesson closure is useful for both instructors and students. So, let's move on to the during the class, presenting your lesson plan. So, during the class, presenting your lesson plan, letting your students know what they will be learning and doing in class will help keep them more engaged and on track. Providing a meaningful organization of the class time can help students not only remember better, but also follow your presentation and understand the rationale behind the planned learning activities. You can share your lesson plan by writing a brief agenda on the whiteboard or telling students explicitly what they will be learning and doing in class. So for the last, after the class, you must reflecting on your lesson plan. So that's all. Thank you.